Hello, everyone. It's me, Stephanie Stevens from Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. Tonight, I am going to answer some of your questions. Actually, just one in particular that you guys seem to be asking me a lot about. A lot about when I came out. What was my first sexual experience? Well, as you guys know, as I've mentioned it many times, I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I used to, when I was in high school, that's when I came out. My parents knew already because I was a sort of a soft boy, but a beautiful woman. But anyway, like I said, is I went to Maynard Evans High School, and I was in the band. And my first sexual experience was with a guy named Richard Green. Richard Green. We were going to Atlanta to the Peach Bowl. We actually won the band competition, and so we were able to go to the Peach Bowl and perform for the Green Bay Packers. The Maynard Evans Trojans was chosen for that way back in the day. I think it was 1984 is when I had my first sexual experience, and that was with Mr. Richard Green. I remember it well, and we were in our hotel room, and it's so weird. I don't know how Mr. Perigo, he was the band leader, and he actually shared a room with us. We stayed at the Days Inn on this busy street right down the street from the Super Bowl. And I'll never forget it as long as I live. Mr. Perigo, out of everybody to share a room with, I had to share a room with Mr. Perigo. And my roommate was Tom Green. Me and Tom Green had to sleep in the same bed. He was a cute little skinny thing. But I want to tell you guys this, that when we were on the school bus, I knew in school that he liked me, but I didn't know if he was gay or what the situation was. But he used to always look at me when we were on the Greyhound bus on our way to Atlanta. You know how kids are all in the aisles of the bus, and I mean on the bus and everything, going back and forth and having a good time. My seat was actually in front of his seat, so I was standing up talking to somebody, and we were laughing and kikiing, and I'll never forget as long as I live. He kept going back and forth past me, rubbing up his crotch against my butt. I knew right then and there. But we had already been assigned rooms at the Days Inn. So I didn't know until afterwards. I thought it was just going to be me and him sharing the room. I didn't know the band leader, Mr. Perigo, was going to be in the room with us in the other bed. So me and him had to share a bed. That's how it was. They had chaperones for each room to make sure everybody was behaving. So me and Richard was in the bed. Mr. Perigo went to sleep. He turned his back to us. Next thing I know, Mr. Richard was making his move on me, and I ended up having. I can just say that now because I'm an adult. I ended up having anal sex for the first time. But anyway, that was my first experience. I'm not going to say it was good, and I'm not going to say it was bad. It was just what it was. And I didn't get much from it. And he got a lot from it, if you know what I mean. But it's so funny, when he was getting ready to, Mr. Perigo turned, and the light was on, and I was looking right at him. And thank God he didn't open his eyes, because I was like in full shock, because I think the sounds from Richard woke him up. And well, that was my first sexual experience. The next morning, he kind of was looking at us a little bit funny and everything. I can laugh about it now. Back then, I was scared as hell, because my parents are Christians, and they would have, if I would have got expelled from school for having sex. That's not a good thing in Orlando, mainly from Christian family. Well, anyway, that was my first sexual experience at the Days Inn in Atlanta. With one of my college friends. Who would have guessed? I shared a bed with him, and I end up, he took my virginity, y'all. That's Maynard Evans High School. Oh my God. I remember that to this day. At least I'm glad, I did it. I was kind of scared, but it just happened when somebody's just, you know. Well, anyway, that's my first sexual experience. I hope that explained things to you. My parents, I had already come out long before that. I just had never been sexually active. So you now know that I had come out, I think, when I was 15 or 16, but I never had sex until I was out of high school. I mean, at the end of high school, getting ready to graduate. It was fabulous. Maynard Evans is a fabulous school. If you guys live in Orlando, it's a great school to send your kids to high school too. But anyway, that was my first sexual experience at the Days Inn in Atlanta with one of my bandmates. Woo! Well, anyway, I hope that answered your questions. Have a great week, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. I'm working on some new stuff for y'all, so keep tuning in. Thank you, and good night.